Help protect Ciri from the Wild Hunt, and the Emperor will grant you amnesty.
I hope we can trust you.
You can.
What of Fringilla?
That I don't know, but I shall take it up with him.
You barely said hello and you're already plotting something.
It's clearly in our nature.
I hear right. You convinced the Emperor to pardon them?
Provided they help us defend Ciri.
Got a hard time believing Emperor'd go in for a deal like that.
If you can't believe it, don't. I don't need you to.
Bit about Fringilla. What was that? Triss told me you couldn't contact her.
Perhaps because she sits in the Emperor's dungeon, chained in Dimeritium. At least that's what Rita implied.
Take it the Emperor forgot to tell you about this.
I don't like it. That was not our deal. When it's all over, I'll need to have a candid discussion with the Emperor. Come. They're all waiting for us.
How are you feeling?
Better. I thank you. If you'd not arrived in time, things might have ended considerably worse. I am your debtor.
Thank Yennefer. It was her idea, her plan. If you're here, what's become of Aretusa?
The day I arrived in Novigrad, I received a message from Birute Kati. A short, curt note. School overrun by Redanians. The libraries burned. Handful of pupils fled with Nina Vivera, the rest are dead. It is over.
No reaction from the Council? The Conclave?
Do you jest? They asked Radovid to intervene, just after he'd appointed them.
Thought Margarita Loantil would be among the last to get nabbed by witch hunters.
Were it dependent solely on me, of course I would have. But you forget I have my students to consider. I knew the hunters would eventually reach Aretusa. It was but a matter of time. So when I heard Triss was organizing escapes to Kavir, I saw no reason to hesitate. I gathered my novices and we rode here to Novigrad. Sadly, we were caught and thrown in Dayra before I could contact Triss.
Didn't see any other sorceresses in there with you?
Because they'd already been executed. Burned. Alive. One after the other. The most talented girls in the North. Radovid was saving me for last.
Farewell, Rita.
Whoa. Stop flexing like that, making me nervous.
All are present. You were the last to arrive. Might we set sail?
Anchors away.
Well, that settles the question of His Imperial Majesty's whereabouts.
Does he aim to conquer Skelliga? But he knows. Those are my friends.
He wishes to grant you the Isles, with Sintra and the rest of the Empire.
There is an upside to all this.
Is that so?
The Emperor will have to help us fight the Hunt. And we've just found Fringilla Vigo.
We must hurry and find the Sunstone. Seems we've plenty to do in Skelliga after that.
Fringilla Vigo. We need her here.
Can you teleport me onto Amir's ship?
Not a chance. It's better shielded than the Emperor's alcove.
Though we could try to force our way through.
We need Fringilla in one piece.
Think they know we're here?
Emir's mages, of course.
If the matter of Fringilla Vigo were resolved, they'd probably just send her over here in a skiff.
It's far from resolved. The Emperor pledged to ensure the Lodge's safety, but
Fringilla's a pricklier matter. She's his subject, one officially sentenced to death for treason.
you'll need to learn what Emir has planned for her, once we've found a way to toss you over to the Imperial flagship.
I'll get on the Emperor's ship myself.
A plan to swim? With swords on your back? You'll get shot up like a sitting duck before you can say, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Don't panic. He'll find a way. Make your approach by night. You'll stand a better chance then. And once you're on board, show His Imperial Majesty this letter. Hand it to him directly. We should remind him what he promised, and what he'll get in return.
At the moment, we don't even know what the Sunstone is.
It was created so the mountain elves could summon the vessels of the NL. Now it merely serves as a symbol of a lost opportunity to unite the two tribes. Truly? Can all of you be unfamiliar with the story of Gelban and Dillion of the White Fleet?
The Sunstone's in Skelliga? How do we know that?
From legends. Elven ones. It lies where the White Fleet landed centuries ago.
Meaning anywhere on any one of the Isles. Splendid.
Ermion. I'll talk to him.
Know where he is?
I'll ask around the port. Croc's longships are moored there. I'm off.
Good luck.
Yes, Geralt?
Charming world you and Elle have got. Could easily fall in love with the place. Tell me, how do you do it? Sit around playing flute, painting rutting unicorns in gorgeous landscapes, building ornately sculpted towers? And then you murder us, without batting an eye, without a hint of guilt. How?
Do you humans feel guilt when you murder Enshe elves? Or dwarves? Or dryads? We are the same. Simply because we both firmly believe others are inferior.
Tell me something more about Caranthir. Know him well?
Know him? I reared him.
Raised, don't you mean?
No, Geralt. I began shaping him long before he was born. For centuries, I brought together pairs of elves manifesting certain abilities, those able to manipulate time and space. He is the result of these efforts. Caranthir, a golden child. Golden child who grew up to be a criminal.
From the look of things, pretty soon Ciri won't need your help anymore.
Nor yours.
True. She'll do whatever she wants, and I'll support her. What about you? Ready to let her live her own life?
I shan't force her to do anything if that's your question.
So long.
Boring.
Got a minute?
Of course.
Once you'd left Yen and me on the Isle of Avalon, what happened to you? What did you do?
I traveled through time, space, different worlds. I saw houses of glass, ran with unicorns at the world's end. Even lived in an undersea kingdom for a time.
Freedom. Always had a taste for it.
I still do.
So why'd you return?
It was too much. I almost drowned in it. When everything is possible, it quickly becomes a lot less alluring.
Traveling between worlds. What's it like?
It's nice.
Difficult?
It was at first, but in time it became automatic, like riding a horse.
Bet a lot of mages would love to learn to do it.
I'm certain they would. But Avalok claims they've neither the knowledge nor talent. He spent 4 centuries learning to do it, yet can still only find and pass through pre-existing portals. I go wherever I please, whenever I please.
Eridan's located you time and again. How's that work?
When I pass between worlds, I create a kind of shockwave. Anyone properly trained can sense it. That's how Avalok explains it, at any rate. He can do it too.
So you shouldn't actually ever use your power.
It's not like that. The impulse is stronger the longer my voyage. On short hops, the disturbance is practically imperceptible.
Not sure if you've heard, but once it's all over, I'm going to Kovir.
With Triss?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting part of the world. Perhaps you'll get a contract for some rare snow beast. A Barbagazi, or a Vendigo, or an Amarok?
Or maybe I'll finally hang up my swords.
It's that good with her?
Better. I should go.
All right. We'll talk later.
Oh, you make a fine sailor. Till the puking set in. Whoa!
I just realized. Except for the 2 of us and Ciri.
Well, what is it?
No need to thank me, Philippa. Always glad to save your ass. You're welcome.
You stood to gain. That is why you saved me.
Way back when, did you really send assassins after Dijkstra?
You believe I do not remember we were once lovers?
Maybe it's just me, but I think you'd consider that in itself to be reason enough. Actually, I've long wondered why you parted. Quarreled even.
You see, Geralt, there are those who keep politics separate from their private lives, and those who do not.
Which one was Dijkstra?
The more boring of the two.
Farewell.
Geralt?
Ever think about the past? About your time with the hunt?
At times, I'm amazed we survived. Eridan's not usually one to leave witnesses behind.
That's just it. He didn't. Lost my memory when I escaped the hunt.
Ah, yes. Your famous amnesia.
You didn't have it?
For a short time only. Once the Emperor's mages got their hands on me, my memory quickly returned.
When the hunt had you, hope they didn't hurt you.
Even if they did, I've no memory of it. The whole time's but a string of phantom images. Blood and fire. A wild chase through different worlds. all shrouded in fog. Though I do remember you coming for me, trading your life for mine. I hadn't the chance to thank you then.
You'd have done the same for me.
I'm touched by your certainty. But you've yet to tell me how you escaped them.
Wouldn't mind knowing that myself. There are times I remember rushing forward, Red Riders around me. Next thing I know, I'm in the woods at the foot of Kaer Morhen. That's it. What did Eredin want from you exactly?
The same thing he wanted from you. You don't recall?
Draw a blank on most of my time with him.
We were bait, Geralt. Both of us. Eredin believed Ciri would come for us sooner or later and he would capture her. Fortunately, she didn't fall for it.
Why didn't you look for me after you'd recovered your memory and your freedom?
I assumed you would recover quickly and find me first.
You had mages to help you. I was on my own.
Well, not entirely. Besides, I knew you'd fled the hunt. Eredin would never have let you go. He'd erased my memory, but you escaped. It was wholly possible he hadn't had the chance with you. And there were your Witcher mutations. I expected they'd stave off any serious injury.
Still can't get something out of my mind.
What?
Yen, can we talk?
Why? So you can ask me if we can remain friends despite all?
No, I mean...
Come now, Geralt. I know you. Well enough to know exactly what's going on with you and Triss. Now, I cannot say I'm not tempted to, intervene, but I believe I'll let it lie this time. How about that? You came here to fumble your way through an explanation, yet instead of enjoying the show, I went and did your job for you.
Seems so.
But now, enough of this maudlin business. We've something to do, remember?
Thanks, Yen. See you later.
Yes, Geralt?
So, there you were in Putrid Grove, and out of nowhere I show up. What did you think?
Honestly? Oh no, not him again.
Figured as much. You weren't easy to find, you know.
You'd recovered your memory, found Yennefer, so naturally, I thought the two of you had...
But it turned out my amnesia changed nothing. Wanted to be with you, before, during, after, always.
I know that now.
So long, Triss.
Oh, you make a fine sailor. See all the puke. Set in. That's You've no respect for our customs.
Wolf, did you see? The black dogs in their rickety tubs. They bay at our gates, seek to strike fear in our hearts.
Saw 'em all. Where's Ermion?
Went to see Lugas. An uncrate on the throne remains a thorn in his arse. Now he's seen the Black Ones, it pricks him even harder. The Druid's gone to reason with the dim-witted nom.
Think I'll join Ermion. Need to talk to him.
Go. And when you see that bloody twit Lugas, be sure and tell him... best not. The Druid knows what to say. Farewell.